Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about how the shutdown could affect your COLA increase for both your Social Security and your VA benefits. I know this is a very stressful situation. We talked about this a little bit in our live stream yesterday, but I did some additional research and I want to talk to you guys about what I found because it's really important. So, as you already know, the government officially shut down yesterday, and it's expected to last at least a few days. Some people are saying it's going to last a lot longer. It's a very, very stressful situation. Now, this timing is pretty unfortunate because we know that every October, the Social Security Administration releases the new cost of living adjustment announcement, and that is your COLA increase or the amount by which your benefits are going to go up at the beginning of the calendar year. So it's the end of December when you get those January payments. You usually see a little bit of a bump up. That's from the COLA, which is usually announced here in the middle of October. Now, this is where it gets complicated because the Social Security Administration depends on other government organizations to do their jobs in order to get the data required to provide that COLA increase amount. So the COLA is actually based on the CPIW report, which looks at July, August, and September. It's calculated by the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and it's released in the middle of October each year. Without those numbers, Social Security simply can't tell you what the COLA is supposed to be. Now, we know that every government agency has issued their own shutdown plan, and they're all doing things a little bit differently. The Department of Labor, in their shutdown contingency plan, said BLS will suspend all operations. The Bureau of Labor Statistics, which is the one that puts out that report that the Social Security Administration needs. They also said, quote, economic data that are scheduled to be released during the lapse will not be released. They also said that their website will not be updated with any new content. And that tells us pretty clearly that they have no intention of releasing that CPI report until the shutdown is resolved. And that is going to potentially create a delay if this shutdown carries on through that scheduled release date. And honestly, they know that this is a problem. They are anticipating this being an issue because their contingency plan says, quote, a delay of the CPI release during October of each year might have an impact on the cost of living adjustment announcement by the Social Security Administration. They wrote that in their plan. They know that that's a potential outcome here. And that is a really big problem because more than 71 million Americans receive either Social Security or SSI, and nearly all of them depend on COLA to keep up with inflation. So here's the thing. We know that Medicare isn't affected by the shutdown. It's going to continue as normal. And we know that those Medicare Part B premiums are projected to increase in 2026. So my biggest fear, and this is just my anxiety talking, but my biggest fear would be that that COLA doesn't come in and that thing goes up and then all of a sudden you have less income, and that would be horrible, right? Now, that's not likely to happen. More than likely, that is not going to be an issue. We have never had a shutdown last more than 35 days. But this political climate also feels a little bit unprecedented, so it's hard to know what to expect, which is why I felt like it was really important to do some additional research. And this is where I started to get things a little bit incomplete yesterday. There has been a government shutdown during COLA season before, and it actually didn't turn out to be that big of a deal. So hopefully we'll see something like this happen again, okay? So in 2013, the government was shut down from October 1st to October 17th. And of course, that covered the October 15th announcement date that they usually aim for. So instead, the Bureau of Labor Statistics delayed the release of that report until October 30th, and then Social Security announced the COLA the same day, and that was far enough in advance of that actual adjustment being made that the first payment with the COLA increase was made on time and without any issues. Now, the longest shutdown we ever had was in 2018, 2019, but that was over December and January, and that lasted 35 days, but it wasn't during COLA season. So the COLA had already been announced for the year, and that didn't affect this report timing. So odds are we are just going to see a delay, and hopefully it won't be a very long delay. Hopefully it'll be like it was in 2013. They'll get it resolved. We'll get that report by the end of October, I hope. If that doesn't happen, we don't really know what to expect, right? My assumption is that if the shutdown drags on, the COLA would be postponed until funding is restored, because the Bureau of Labor Statistics is basically being stopped until that funding is restored. So we may not know for a while how much that COLA increase is going to really be. And I know you've probably seen estimates from dozens of different creators by now, right? Talking about different things. But we don't know for certain until the announcement is made, and we don't know anymore when that announcement will be coming out. So do be mindful of that. Just remember your payments aren't going to stop, but it's the amount of that raise that is currently in limbo. So make sure you're staying tuned to official sources. Everybody and their brother is coming out with speculation right now about what is going to happen. And you need to make sure you're relying on trustworthy resources. Because of the shutdown, government websites may not be updated as consistently as they have been in the past. But I'll be here reporting on everything as it happens, and expect delays in communication because with this shutdown, things are going to take longer to get out than they usually do. Until we know for sure, prepare conservatively. Don't assume anything about that raise in January until it's officially announced. And if you're worried about those potentially increasing Medicare costs, give our partner chapter a call. You can see their number down here on the screen. They are really, really helpful. They can go over all the different plans that are available to you, help you make sure that you're on the very best one for your unique situation, and hopefully help you keep those costs down a little bit. They're currently accepting appointments for after open enrollment begins, and those calls only take about 20 minutes. They said that they save seniors an average of over $1,000. So I'd strongly recommend that you give them a call. I'll be back tomorrow with another update, but in the meantime, if you didn't catch the live stream from yesterday, you should go check that out because we break down exactly what's going to be happening as the government moves forward with this shutdown. So I'll see you there.